Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. All right, let's have a quick swig of this and then we can get going. Coffee in the morning. All right, today is going to be a catch-up video to see what else is going on in the world of boxing aside from AJ Fury Wilder talk. I probably am going to talk about AJ Fury Wilder. I have to pre-warn you. But I do want to see what else is going on because I do feel like I've missed a couple of good stories. I did do a Ramirez-Josh Taylor preview video a couple of days ago, G-Man Boxing, Raps on TV. Go and check that out. That was good fun filming with those guys. Before we start though, I do want to say this video is sponsored by Le Bomb. I have partnered up with them once again. Thank you so much to The Bomb for partnering up with me for this video. They have partnered up with me for 3 videos in the past. This will be the final one because on the weekend, it is the final day of Premier League football. I can't believe it's come so quick. For those of you that don't know what Le Bomb is, sorry, I have left the link in the description. It is a betting app, but slightly different. I've said this in the past. It's a betting app that allows you to bet with your friends. So for those of you that don't like going to the bookies and things like that, then this is perfect for you. It allows all you and your friends to put money in a pot together. You make your predictions and the winner takes all. That's it. I'm going to quickly show you some of my predictions for the weekend. I'll do it with you actually. Good thing as well, all games kick off at the same time. Remember, 4 o'clock kickoff, so it will go fast. You will find out who's won very, very quickly. What we got here? Arsenal, Brighton. I'm going to go Arsenal 2-1. That's a tough one. Arsenal, yeah, 2-1. We'll go Arsenal 2-1. Man City, Everton. Oh, God, mate. But then again, Man City might rest a couple, you know. Remember, Champions League final a few days later. I'm going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 in that. Wolves, Manchester United. Just tough one. Wolves, Man U. I'm going to go 2-1 to Man U. Not with no confidence because they've got the Europa League final as well. They might rest a few. West Ham, Southampton. We'll do this one as the final one. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. If they win that game, they've got Europa League football next season, which is massive. And then you confirm your predictions at the end. Yeah. And then Le Bomb does it all for you. You sit back, relax, and they update the table for you all the time. In the last couple of games, I've come 2nd and 3rd. Come on. I was about to swear there, but come on, surely I can win one. So yeah, that's it. That's Le Bomb. Enjoy it. It's a bit of fun. Again, if like me, you're not a fan of like going to the bookies and stuff, but you like to have a little bet with a friend, perfect app for you. Le Bomb, people. Link is in the description. All right. Oh, nearly dropped my bloody phone. All right, let's have a look and see what is going on in the world of boxing aside from AJ Fury Wilder. Which, look, it's a big talking point, so we are going to touch on it. I still don't know if I'm doing a Ramirez-Taylor live watch-along. I'm not sure. You know what it is? It's because, obviously, the fight's in, Vegas. So it's going to happen at around 4 in the morning. Ugh. I don't know. I'll decide tonight. Tonight, I will decide what's going on. Let's have a look if there's anything going on. Oh, what we got here? Oh, here we go. I said no AJ Fury Wilder talk. It's going to happen, isn't it? First story I see. Usyk's promoter confident Anthony Joshua fight will now happen. Looks likely. We have got a couple of dates as well, haven't we? I think late August was one of the dates for AJ versus Usyk. I guess so many questions are going to be asked about where it happens now. It's more likely to happen over here with some fans as well. Let's not forget that, which will be good. So I'm guessing it's going to happen at the O2 Arena. It's a big come down. If you think Sky, like this is AJ's final fight with Sky. It's his final fight with Matchroom, by the way, as well. But it's his final fight with Sky. They were going to get AJ versus Fury, right? Pay-per-view. It was going to be about 40 quid, and it would have done anything between 2.5 to 3 million buys. They're now going to get AJ versus Usyk, which will be pay-per-view, but will be £25 and will probably get around 700,000 to 1 million. They lose out on a lot of money, and it's the final fight with them. I do think AJ is going to re-up with Sky. I don't know what AJ does, actually. I actually still think Sky are going to be in the AJ business, which is strange. I think that's going to happen. And I think AJ will still use Matchroom, but I don't know what contract he's got with them, but they will take a lot less going forward. They will. AJ can promote himself. AJ actually doesn't need Matchroom. I mean, Eddie Hearn works well for him because Eddie Hearn's a very good voice for him, but he doesn't need them, right? I mean, once you get to a stage where you're like AJ, almost like Floyd, you don't necessarily need a promoter. Like Canelo, you don't necessarily need a promoter. You just kind of work with them on one fight deals, kind of like what Canelo's been doing with Eddie. So it might be like that. Be interesting to see what happens, by the way, with this Sky, DAZN, Matchroom stuff going forward. Tank Davis on one day facing Ramirez-Taylor winner. I didn't know they were fighting, but I'm all for it. He did know they were fighting. That's a lie, but it's a dig at their promotion. Basically, he's trying to do what most boxers saying, I'm the superstar here. He's already started it. That's almost like he's already started negotiating for the split. Like, they're no one. I'm Tank Davis. People are talking about my fight against Barrios. Look, I've said it's a great look. Josh Taylor's got options now. So, like, if Josh Taylor can come through against Ramirez, and fingers crossed he can, there are so many good options. Like, there's Tank, who's fighting at 140. Tank might want to stay there. Why cut down to 130, 135 if you can do the job at 140? So Tank might stay there. And not only that might Tank stay there, Tank will then get the opportunity to fight for all the marbles at 140, right? There's Teofimo Lopez, who clearly is very, very big for 135. I said he only wants to stay around 135 for one or two more. He's got the Cambosos fight coming up. He might just say, I want to go up. And that's a big fight. Big, big fight, right? The unbeaten, some might say king of 135, count up to 140. Then you got other guys floating around 140, like Adrian Broner, who it's a big fight because Adrian Broner is a big name. That could happen. And then potentially, you got fights at 147. You got the undisputed champ coming up from 140. He is a big name at 147. He has to be because he cleaned up at 140. So there's loads of options for Taylor, and this is a good time for Taylor because all those options I just mentioned, all big money fights. Broner, big money. Teofimo, big money. Gervonta Davis, big money. Potentially, and he's mentioned this himself, Manny Pacquiao, big money. Terence Crawford, big money. So all those fights are there, and all those fights, apart from maybe the Broner one, shouldn't be too difficult to make. Maybe Taylor as well. Sorry, maybe Gervonta Davis as well. But there are options now, really good options for him. I said this on the preview for this fight. Josh Taylor could be like Amir Khan, where we don't really see him fight over here again in the UK. All these fights could be stateside, which is unfortunate. But again, all those names I mentioned, none of those guys are going to come to Edinburgh. I know he's got this thing that he wants to fight in Edinburgh, and he's put up on his Instagram and Twitter quite a lot. None of them are really there, big ones. Someone, and look, I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, but someone's like, well, if he's going up to 147, I mean, there is Conor Benn. Look, he's way in advance of that now. That's now, though. 12 to 18 months' time, who knows what will happen? Who knows? Coffee's nice. Cold coffee's fucking horrible. Arum on Fury Wilder 3. We're finishing paperwork for July 24th, hopefully done today. That was 7 hours ago. That's crazy. The collapse of AJ Fury, just like that, and the way in which Wilder Fury 3 is just like that is a bit mad. But look, I guess there was already agreements in place with the Wilder Fury 3. So I mean, pay was already agreed. Everything was already agreed. It was just a case of it going through arbitration. So everything was already done. So for those of you that are a bit shocked in how quick it's happened, it was always going to happen this quick. So we are going to get it. We're going to get Wilder Fury 3. Wilder, look, has been training. Looks in good shape. Wilder never looked out of shape, right? Because he is quite small for heavyweight anyway, very, very lean. Look, it's just a strange one. Honestly, it really is a strange situation. It will be a big fight. Let's not play around here. It'll be a massive fight between those three. So it'll be those two. I don't know, man. Look, Wilder, look, I feel like I want to give Wilder more than a puncher's chance, but it's difficult to see how I give him more than that. But that puncher's chance isn't just your average punch. You know what I mean? This is a guy that can punch severely. So we'll see how it plays out. I do expect Fury to win again. but I'm not ruling out Wilder. I think it'd be silly to rule out Wilder completely from this equation. I mean, man, with a guy that can put you to sleep that quick, and it's not a joke, you know. I mean, people act like, oh yeah, but the people he put to sleep, when he puts you, they don't get up, you know. It's not like Wilder guilts you to sleep and they get up like at 9 and then the referee calls it off. You know what I mean? When he puts you to sleep, you can count for a minute. You can count for a minute. The only person that has got up, Tyson Fury. So look, it's going to be an interesting one between those two. Well, to be fair, Ortiz got up as well in the first fight, didn't he? But it's going to be very interesting when it does happen. What else we got here? A bit here about Gervonta Davis and his fight against Mario Barrios. Should be an interesting fight, that one. Barrios is a lot bigger. Barrios is a lot bigger in height. Barrios isn't exactly a guy that's been campaigning at 140 either. So don't let them fool you by saying, oh, he's jumping up in weight. Barrios has been campaigning lower weights as well. I was going to say something. Did you see that back and forth between AJ and Fury over Twitter? Got a bit interesting, didn't it? That's probably as much as we're going to get. That's very out of character as well for Anthony Joshua. Very out of character. I didn't even know this fight was happening, by the way. Sam Eggington versus Carlos Molina. Didn't even know it was happening. I think it's a Mick Hennessy fight. Is it going on Channel 5? Didn't even know. Strange. Forgot all about that. It's a good little scrap, that, isn't it? Sam Eggington versus Molina. Linares and Ramirez. Sorry, Linares and Devin Haney is a week away. Should be a good one. This Tommy Fury, Jake Paul thing, is it building up to actually, are they going to fight, do you think? I doubt it. I really doubt they'll fight. And it's funny because everyone's very convinced that Tommy Fury would beat Jake Paul. Okay. I mean, he should, but not 100% convinced, by the way. Davison believes that Taylor Ramirez is second biggest fight in sport behind Fury Joshua. It's not. It's not. Well, I mean, second biggest, well, depends. If he's talking about the second biggest fight that could be made, that's been made, it's not. The second biggest would be, there's absolutely no doubt about it, would be Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. That is so much bigger than Taylor Ramirez. I know Taylor Ramirez is undisputed, and I get all that stuff, but Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence would be the second. Oh God, man, that would easily be the second biggest. By the way, easily. I was talking earlier about options for Josh Taylor. I forgot to mention, I do apologize, Jack Catterall. Obviously, Jack Catterall gave Taylor almost permission because wasn't it Catterall that was either mandatory for Ramirez? I think it was mandatory for Ramirez. Could be wrong. It was mandatory for either one of those anyway. And I think he kind of just took step aside and allowed one of those guys to fight each other. But I think Taylor did promise him a shot if he were to come through Ramirez. So I think it might be Taylor Catterall next, as opposed to Taylor versus any of the guys that I was mentioning before. Eddie Hearn here saying that Joshua Buatsi can beat Dimitri Bivol. His next fight must be a step up. I'm not convinced he can beat Dimitri Bivol at all. No. Yeah. And there's one thing saying he can beat Dimitri Bivol, then saying his next fight must be a step up. Well, put him in with Dimitri Bivol then. If he can beat Dimitri Bivol, put him in with Dimitri Bivol. That's just that's wolf tickets. Wolf tickets. His next fight has to be a step up because I'm sorry, that kid Dos Santos, he fought woefully low. And he fought Kalic before that. Was it Kalic? I think it was. He's actually stepped down from Kalic. That's a step down. So the idea of him now stepping up, he's sorry, that's just annoyed me a bit. If he can beat Dimitri Bivol, put him in with Dimitri Bivol. It's not like Dimitri Bivol would say no to that showdown. Dimitri Bivol would love to fight. It would do good numbers, that fight. And I mean good numbers as in ticket sales. Put him in with him then. We got any last bits before we're done? Gervonta Davis saying here that going to 140 is a big challenge, but Barrios has never faced anyone like me. Dude, I mean, look, he fought 130 last time, but Gervonta Davis has fought 135. Got up 5 pounds. I mean, Am I being harsh? He got up £5. I mean, you struggled with weight. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we are kind of done, peeps. There's other little bits and bobs, but we're kind of done. Terence Crawford, I'm hearing there's going to be an announcement of who he fights in the next couple of weeks. I mean, will that be at 147? I don't believe it will. I think Terence Crawford is going to fight 154 pounds. I don't know who he's going to fight, but he will fight 154 pounds next. I think it's going to be interesting. He's going to try and go to become a 4-weight world champion. Crazy, because I think it's more for 147. Peace and love.